are listening to our 1-hour broadcast in English for listeners in Western Europe and Japan. We can also be heard on the internet at www.rri.ro channel 1. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter and other social media platforms. Our programs are also available on TuneIn and via satellite Eutelsat 16A on 11,512 MHz, vertical polarization, azimuth 16 degrees east. Symbol rate 29,950 megasymbols per second, standard DVB-S2, modulation 8 PSK, audio PID 510. We wish you good reception conditions.
Welcome, I'm Anna Maria Popescu with the news. First, the headlines. The government begins talks on this year's state budget this week. The anti-COVID vaccination program is broadened in Romania, and Romanian authorities decide to resume flights to and from Britain. Of Romania will hold talks this week on the 2021 state budget. According to Liberal Prime Minister Florin Câțu, the budget is going to be based on a 7% deficit and will be submitted for Parliament approval by the end of the month. According to the Prime Minister, the 7% target is proof of the firm commitment to fiscal consolidation without hindering the economy. The budget will allow for an extension to June the 30th of economic measures triggered by the pandemic, including compensations to employees during the suspension of employment and financial support for employers. A state aid scheme for the hospitality industry and travel agencies totaling €500 million and financed from EU funds will also be in place. The government might also discuss this week a bill raising the national minimum wage, while all wages in state-owned companies are to be frozen at the level of December 2020. In the past 24 hours, Romania has reported over 3,100 fresh cases of COVID-19 infection out of 10,000 tests carried out nationwide, the Strategic Communication Group announced on Monday. Roughly 644,000 people have been infected with the virus since the first case was reported in Romania in February last year. Out of this, 577,000 have recovered. Another 78 people died to the virus in the past 24 hours, bringing the death toll since the onset of the pandemic to 16,057. 1,100 people are in intensive care, and the authorities are bracing up for a new wave of infections after the winter holidays. According to Raed Arafat, head of the Department for Emergency Situations, although the immunization campaign in Romania has begun, prevention measures like face covering, hand washing and social distancing remain mandatory. The vaccination campaign has been extended in Romania, which is to activate over 90% of the 376 centers for healthcare personnel and care centers. Nearly 13,500 medical workers were immunized in the first week since the vaccine was brought to Romania, with authorities targeting a daily 20,000 vaccination rate in the forthcoming period. The coordinator of the vaccination program, Valerii Gheorghiță, said the second stage of the program, targeting patients in care centers, may be initiated in mid-January. The National Committee for Emergency Situations in Romania has updated the list of countries and areas in the COVID-19 red zone and decided to resume flights to and from the UK. People coming to Romania from this country are to isolate for 10 days and must have taken a COVID-19 test at least 48 hours before arrival. Flights to the UK were suspended on December the 20th after a fresh, more contagious virus strain had been discovered in Britain. Italy has been included on the list of countries with a higher risk of transmission. The number number of new car registrations went up 16% in Romania in December 2020 compared to December 2019 to 15,974 units, according to the Romanian Association of Automotive Makers. However, for the entire year 2020, the number dropped by 22%. As regards used vehicles registered in Romania for the first time, the number dropped by 5% in December compared to 2019. The best-selling new cars in Romania in 2020 were Dacia, followed by Skoda, Renault, Volkswagen and Ford. The European Commission Monday green-lighted the acquisition by the Europe division of Myra Investment Funds of electricity production and supply assets held by the tech group CZ. In October 2020, CZ Group announced the sale of its